Hello everybody, this is YaHUaH, the production supplier. YaHUaH's word in your life, deny yourself daily, pick up his taken from the YahuSHA all day, every day. YaHUaH in the flesh. Yeah, look, this is part 2, for like I said, from the Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. That is said from, let man make in our image, in our likeness, he said, you see. So, he was talking to, the invisible person was talking to invisible person, and that stuff. And that YaHUaH is YaHUSHA in the flesh and all the way. And that YaHUaH and YahuSHA is revealed in the Old Testament all the way. And it's pointed to him. And this video will let you see for where he is pointed out in this thing. In the first book from Samuel, chapter 1. Samuel 1, 2. Samuel 1, chapter 2. Verse 10. The adversaries of YaHUaH shall be broken to pieces. Out of the Shamahin shall he thunder upon them. YaHUaH shall judge the ends of the earth, and shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. You see? So this is where YaHUSHA is already. And you see it? The adversaries of YaHUaH shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thundered upon them. YaHUaH shall judge the ends of the earth. And you already know YaHUSHA will judge on the day when he coming back. And here said YaHUaH. But you already know that YaHUSHA judge everybody. And who makes YaHUSHA? Who makes YaHUaH. So YaHUaH is YaHUSHA. There you have it already, in this part. Okay. And let's read to this book. In Samuel, 2 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 12. And when your days be fulfilled, and you shall sleep with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you, which shall proceed out of your generation, and I will establish his kingdom. YahuSHA Messiah. You see, there he is again. YaHUaH speaking about YaHUSHA himself again, so that he will proceed out of your generation, and he will establish his kingdom. And when your days be fulfilled, and you shall sleep with your fathers, I will set up your seed after you, which I shall proceeded out of your generation, and I will establish his kingdom. You see? So, there we have it again. Here is YaHUaH, YaHUSHA again. Here's another verse that I want to show you. You can see in Devarai Hayamahim, rise on 1, Chronicles chapter 17, verse 14. But I will settle him in my house, and in my kingdom forever, and his throne shall be established forevermore. You see, YaHUaH was talking about YaHUSHA again here, in this Old Testament, again, in the Devarai Hayamahim. You see? So YaHUaH is there, YaHUSHA is there already, and he's talking about himself, that he's coming, and that his kingdom is there forever, and that he will settle him in my house, and in my kingdom forever, and his throne shall be established forevermore. There's only one throne, and that is from YaHUaH. Why he's talking about this throne then? He talk about his own throne, and that is YaHUSHA. You see? There you have it already, in Bryson chapter 1. You see it. Okay, man. Here's another verse. Hold on. Here's another one. In YaHUaH. In Job, chapter 19, verse 25. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. You see? So even Job said that YaHUSHA is there and comes and knows all that stuff, man. You see it? So, for I know that my Redeemer lives, and that he shall stand at the latter of the day upon the earth. You see? So, let's read more. Much more. Mesalahi, Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 4. Who has ascended up into heaven, Shamahim, or descended Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name? If you can tell, I can tell. YaHUaH, YahuSHA, Messiah, all day, every day. You see it? And it's started talking about in Proverbs there already, that YaHUaH, YahuSHA is there. And that he make all everything, and that YaHUaH is YahuSHA itself. So, here more. Here comes more. In a Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 11, the words of the wise are as goats, and the nails fastened by the master of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. And you already know who the shepherd is? That's YahuSHA. YaHUaH, YahuSHA, Messiah, YaHUaH, all day, every day. So the words of the wise are as goats, and as the nails fastened by the master of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. YaHUaH, YahuSHA, Messiah, all day, every day. You see? And there was much more, I'll let you see. Yes, YaHUaH, Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Thank you, YaHUaH. Thank you, YahuSHA. Wow, I love you. Thank you for this. We not deserve it at all, but thank you. You see? But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. And who was that person? YahuSHA. YaHUaH, YahuSHA, Messiah, all day, every day. So here's much more I'm going to show you. Daniel, chapter 9, verse 25. Know and understand that from the going forth of the word to return unto the build of Yerushalayim, or better said, YahuShalom, until Messiah, the Prince, is 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. Diligently building the wide street in the times of distress. You see, his name standing there already. Know and understand that from the going forth of the word to return unto the build YahuShalom, Shalom, until Messiah, the Prince, is 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. Diligently building the wide street in the times of distress. YaHUaH. YaHUaH is YahuSHA in the flesh. And there's so much more I'm gonna show you right now. Much more. Micah, chapter 5, verse 2 till 3. But you, Bethlehem, Ephratah, toch you be little among the thousands of Yehuda, yet out of you shall he come forth unto me. That is to be a ruler in Yasharal, who is going forth having been from of old, from everlasting. Therefore will he give them up unto the time that she which travails has brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Yasharal. You see? But you, Bahit, Lechem, Ephrahat, toch you will be a little among the thousands of Yehuda. Yet out of you shall come forth unto me, that is to be a ruler in YaHUaH. And who is the ruler in YaHUaH? There's only one ruler, one master, one teacher, one king, one creator, and that is YaHUaH, YahuSHA Messiah, who is going forth, having been from of old, from everlasting. Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travails has brought forth. The remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of YaHUaH. You see, this is Micah chapter 5 verse 2 to 3. And there's much more. I will show you. Zechariah chapter 9 verse 9. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Tyson. Shout out, daughters of Jerusalem. Of YahuShalom. Behold, your king comes unto you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon a ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. Okay. This ass thing is, I think, is a donkey, But he was coming on a donkey, and all the stuff. But I don't understand why they use this. The Sefer by I know, I don't like this Sefer stuff, but yeah. But since y'all people think that Sefer is the thing, so that is why I make this video in the Sefer. But for me, I will stick to the Abritong and the ancient Hebrew Torah and all the stuff you already know. But this is now a video to point out in the Old Testament that YaHUaH is in the flesh, and that YaHUsha is there already before the creation and in the creation and before everything was made and all everything, man. So here you see it. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Tyson. Shout out, O daughter of YahuShalom. Behold, your king is come unto you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. You see? So, yeah, man. And here's much more. I can let you see. Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me, and Adonai, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messengers of the covenant in the womb he delight. Behold, he shall come, says YaHUaH Tzasafot. And Adonai, behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Adonai, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messengers of the covenant in the womb ye delight. Behold, he shall come and says YaHUaH Tzasavot. You see? So there you have it already. In the Malachi chapter 3 verse 1, there's YaHUaH, YahuSHA Messiah already, and that is coming, and all the stuff, like I said, and all those other verses. So let's go to the last verse, and then you will see. Of course, there are many. The whole book point out that YaHUaH, YahuSHA is in the flesh, and that YaHUaH is coming, and YahuSHA is coming. All the stuff, man, all the stuff. So I can say the whole book, but for now, I'll let you see Genesis 18, what I talked earlier in the previous video in part 1. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. And YaHUaH appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Adonai, if I now have found favor in your sight, pass not away. I will pray you from your servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as you have said. And Abraham hastened hastened into the tent unto all Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measure of the fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearts. Make cakes upon the hearts. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto the young man, and he hastened to dress it. And he took the butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and he set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree. And they did eat. And they did eat under the tree with YaHUaH, YahuSHA. You see, YaHUaH was invisible by everybody, so how can he show himself there? It can only be YahuSHA then, because YahuSHA is YaHUaH in the flesh. And he said, I will continually return unto you according to the time of life. And I lo, Sarah, your woman, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of a woman. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, and saying, After I am waxed old, so I have a pleasure, my Adonai being old also. And YaHUaH said unto all Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, So I of a surgery bear a child which am old? It's anything too hard for YaHUaH? No, it is. You can be YahuSHA itself. You can do everything what you want, what you please. You can do everything. So you are not limited. We're not thinking limited about you. You can be everything, even the things what we deny. Many of us, not me, that is that you are not YaHUSHA, but you can be YaHUSHA and you are YaHUSHA, and I know that and stand for it. So, is anything too hard for YaHUaH? At the time of appointed, I will return unto you, according to the time of life. And Sarah shall have a son. And Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. Until he said, Nay, but you did laugh. And the man rose up from his tents, and looked toward Sidon. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And YaHUaH said, So I hide from Abraham the things which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nation of the earth shall be berooked in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall guard the way of YaHUaH, to do justice of judgment, that YaHUaH may bring upon Abraham the dove that which he has spoken of him. And YaHUaH said, Because the cry of Sodom and Amorah is great, because their sin is very grievous. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which I come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence, and went toward Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before YaHUaH, YahuSHA. You see? And Abraham drew near, and said, Will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? You see, and that is the story that he can say, yeah, I got this, that, please, and then blah, blah, all the stuff. But you see, he was talking there constantly with him, face to face, and sitting there with him on the tree, eating all and everything. And if YaHUaH is invisible, he cannot do sitting with an invisible and talking and eating with it, and you see, a plate is floating without ever touching it. No, he was there. And who? YahuSHA. You see? The Ruach he can never see. YaHUaH can never see. And the Ruach let him make him see. Toch YaHUaH. Of YahuSHA. Toch YahuSHA we can see him. And YahuSHA is him. But everything is made by him and for him. For YahuSHA, YaHUaH. You see? So there you have it, everybody. So maybe I come up with a part 3. But this is for now what I have. I have much more. I know a lot, but I don't want to make this video too long. But now you can see what I'm talking about. And the whole Old Testament is pointed out that YaHUaH is YahuSHA, and that YaHUaH is that YahuSHA is coming. You see? So, and this New Testament is a confirmation of the Old Testament. In the New Testament, he let them see what is all talking about here in this Old Testament. That he said, yeah, he will come and do this and do that. And in the New Testament he said, here I am. I was there before Abraham, I was. You see in this chapter 18. And then that is what he said to his Pharisees. He said, no, I was before Abraham, I was. The Father and I are one. That is what he said. And they did not understood it. They did not understand this Genesis chapter 18. The books of Moses, the 5 books that they're only preaching on. And did not understand. But I will pray for all everybody, man. But, like I said, I die for my YaHUaH, YahuSHA, HaMashiach, all day, every day. YaHUaH, YahuSHA in the flesh. I never deny it, and I can even talk about it. So, much love everybody. This YahuSHA Mind Production Supply YaHUaH's word in your life, and deny yourself daily, and pick up his stake from YahuSHA HaMashiach. Much love. All esteem to YaHUaH, Aloha, YahuSHA HaMashiach, all day, every day.